Welcome to the bunker.
Preppers, survivalists, off-gridders, homesteaders, and the like. Welcome to Top's Bunker, a podcast for preppers. Email shtf@topsbunker.com. Website topsbunker.com. Please check the show notes in your podcast player for a link to help support the show. There you'll find valuable products and gear and extra info on this episode. Also, please visit and join Top's Bunker Facebook group. You'll love the interaction with other preppers and like-minded folks. I want to thank y'all for joining us. We got a great show for you. Let's talk about goals for 2026. Every New Year's Day, historically, we all get a sense of renewal, wind in our sails, so to speak, excitement for the year to come. We close the door to last year, but not before last year puts its big old foot in the door and whispers, "Not so fast." You see, we all hope for this grand change to happen when the clock turns over at midnight. That's why we have New Year's Eve parties and fireworks and the ball drop at Times Square in New York City. But if there was no party, no sparkles, no ball, would we even know there was a change? Years turn over in the same way that seasons change, quietly and without ceremony, unimpressed by intentions or by hope. 2026 will be a year of change. It's almost a foregone conclusion. The Trump administration, whether you like it or not, has seen to that. The question is, what changed for you at 12:01 a.m. on January 1st? My guess is very little. At 12:01 a.m. on January 1st, out there, farm fields and gardens rest beneath cold soil. Pantries hold what they hold. Our hands remember only the work they've done before. Those of us who prepare live closer to this truth. We read the land, the weather, the cracks in the system. We know how thin the line can be between order and chaos. This coming year calls for intention and planning. It calls for steady hands and minds that will shape reality into a path forward. Maybe less noise, more focus. Instead of a dramatic entrance, maybe a strategic retreat. Tonight, we talk about what must be strengthened. We do that by setting goals, reasonable, realistic, achievable goals. Every goal is as unique as the prepper who sets it. We'll tell you some of our goals in hopes that it helps you to start working on yours. So let's get to it.
You remember? Do you remember, like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they were trying to convince people that if you played like certain like hardcore metal or metal back then backwards, it had satanic messages and stuff?
No, it was true.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
If I ever played Megadeth backwards, I would be like, "What in the hell is going on here? I don't understand this. It sounds like Swahili."
I know that they were experimenting with stuff like that. I don't know if it was an actual music, but if that was true. But you heard these people that do the backwards speech thing? It is freaky, man.
Oh, like Pig Latin?
No. It's these people that you can take somebody's recorded voice and, a speech, let's say, like so let's say Trump does a speech, take it recorded, then you play it backwards, and the true meaning of what they're feeling in their brain, those inner words sometimes come out in the reversed playback. And I thought it was complete and total bullshit, and it probably is, I don't know, but it's freaky how often you hear stuff like I might say, "I love to eat chicken sandwiches. They're like my favorite thing in the world to eat." And backwards it'll be like, "Hate chicken hate." And it's like weird, man. It's very strange. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, go to YouTube and look it up. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos, and there are like people that have had whole careers doing this, where they've gone around and done this with different people. It's crazy.
That's
Serious.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I think if anybody told me in backwards that they hate chicken, I would go ahead and just assume that they were a communist and start shooting.
I agree. I do
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So, what are the rules about what if you find livestock on your property that's not yours? Do you get to keep it?
That's per state, but Oklahoma has a very interesting one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it. I would look it up per state, but like in Oklahoma, if it's on there, like I don't know the exact time frame, but there's a time frame less than 30 days, I believe.
The reason why I'm asking is because I've got a small herd of sheep that keep coming through my property. Now they've been missing for a while. Did I mention that too on a different show? Or my neighbor called me, and he's like, his fields are like 2 miles down, and he called me and said, "Hey, who's raising sheep up there?" I'm like, "Nobody I know." He's like, "I got five sheep in my property right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I have no idea whose they were." Then like 2 weeks later, all of a sudden they come trampling through my property, and they're small. They're not like big, they're small like a very very large dog, and super fluffy. Four light tan ones and one dark brown one. And here they come again today, just trotting up through the driveway and then head on into the woods. I'm
Hmm.
thinking, well, what if I
Wow,
caught them? Would it be mine?
you must not have a coyote problem.
I hear the coyotes at night, but I mean, like rabbits, you can't find rabbits around here. So
Hmm.
I think the coyotes are eating them all because
Is
in, in the city you got rabbits walking around down the block. They're walking down Main Street. Out
Really?
here, I can't find them.
is there a guy walking around with them with a big stick and like a man dress and sandals with a
No,
beard,
I
maybe?
have not seen Jesus. No, no.
He
He
didn't
has
have a huffy
cometh.
bike with him.
Second,
Are you picking mushrooms again?
Yeah.
second coming of the Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, I'm just thinking, what if I see them again and I catch them? Can they be mine? Because they've been out here running around these woods for about a month now.
man, I would just research it and find out what. I wish I could remember
Is
the
your
name of the
is your
law.
property fenced?
No, none of the properties are. I mean, some of the cattle farms are fenced, but they're fenced for cows. I mean,
Yeah.
sheep walk right under them.
And you said it's cattle or it's sheep?
It's sheep.
It's probably under a livestock.
It would be under a livestock. I think they're on some sort of a circuit, like a circle of some sort,
Hmm.
because it seems like they're coming through every 2 weeks. They'll come through our area.
Yeah. They might not belong to anyone. If they're coming through on that regular of a basis, they may have gotten out.
I can't imagine that the coyotes hadn't got them already because
Yeah.
they don't run fast. They're not
No,
strong. They
no,
can't
they got
defend
small,
themselves.
little short legs, and
They're not
yeah,
very smart either.
No, I don't know, man. Look at your law, and I mean, you might even pin them up for a while, and
Yeah.
if they come through again, see if you can pin them up. And
See if they've got tags. You see if they have tags or see if they have a brand.
I had a completely different view of it. I was thinking about sitting in a rocking chair with a rifle,
I like it.
not penning them up, but freezing them up, cold storage.
Oh, you mean like just go ahead and take care of them and
I mean, you can eat one, right?
sheep?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would rather fatten them up though,
I would
and then
fatten them
eat.
up, but I would also, if you can keep them, they have more value alive long term than they do just as meat. But you can eat them. Yeah.
If you have the ability, I mean, to start a herd,
Mm-hmm.
you got meat on the hoof there. I mean, it's always going to be out there. So, shit hits the fan.
But yeah, the wool,
Yeah, the wool you can sell.
the shearing of the wool, it's a whole process though. But the shearing of the wool really does bring in a lot of money. It's a lot more money than people think it is, but it's a lot more work than most people are willing to do. That's
My brother, he raises show sheep. So I've learned a little bit from him, but he's not eating them. I'm like, hey, that looks like it'd be pretty good eating. He's like, I'm not eating these.
All of my livestock, and I use the quotes when I say that, I have wings. They're all winged creatures, from bees to chickens to turkeys. If I was to start doing four-legged livestock as well, then we're talking fences, and structures. There's a lot more money into that. So yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask Buddy what you got.
Oh, well, here we go. Um, the, I have many goals because I'm just that kind of guy. I'm always trying to improve. But no, I've got five of the main ones, and a lot of them kind of, intertwine. One of the big ones I have is fitness. I want to be able, and we talked a little bit about it in the last show. Um, I want to be able to, I know I'm not 18 again, but I sure would like to climb, do some pull ups again, climb a wall, if I need to. I just feel like I can't, I'm not as mobile as I used to be and as strong upper body wise. So that's a big thing for me this year is, a functional fitness type routine. So ruck run, and then a lot of strength training and then another one of them is of my goals for this year is my training, which I have that every year. And at the about November or so, I kind of look back at what training I did that year, what I learned, as far as my professional and personal development. And then I'll go in and go out and start looking for where I want to go next to train and who I want to train with and what skills I would like to learn, and then budgeted into my budget. So, I have it
I
actually.
remember you saying something about going up to like Wyoming or something for some training. Are you still doing that?
Yes and no. I don't have my calendar yet. It's something I'm doing this week. Is a lot of I start looking at most of the people that I have my eye on training with or have trained with in the past. They have calendars and they start putting them up about this time of year because people are kind of like me, they're looking at their year training. And a lot of these people who take the training also train people. So they need to get their training calendar up or find, trainings that they can do uh, and fill in the holes and stuff. So anyhow, so, the fitness thing is in there, but it also kind of ties into the training, you get out there. I've been humbled a couple different trainings I went on last summer, and in the fall, I was humbled tremendously. Just my overall level of fitness, but yeah, I want to go up to Wyoming and do some things. Just and I
Do you
can't
know
do it
people
now.
up there, or do you know specific trainers up there?
I know specific trainers up there that I have my eye on, and there's different things. Like there's the people up there teach communication stuff. I want to learn different. I live in kind of a flat, not really a flat area, a rolling hill like plains area, and so in mountains it's different than what it is in my area, which is different than urban. And so those are the kind of things I want to crack the nut and find out what these people know.
You're in Oklahoma. That's, most people can envision what Oklahoma's like. When you say something like Oklahoma has mountains, people are like, "Psst, what? Are you kidding me? Oklahoma does not have mountains. They actually do. Eastern Oklahoma's got some of the most beautiful forests I've been in.
Exactly. Southeast Oklahoma, very mountainous, very old mountains in the southern part of the state. And I just need to get back to getting in better shape. I need to lose some weight, which I've been working out about 3 weeks again. I took about a 6 month. We'll call it a hiatus. Just got lazy and
You going to a gym or is this all home?
going to a gym now until the weather gets a little better. Some days we're outside, some days we're inside, but right now it's gym work. It's working out pretty good. I'm sore as shit all the time. Uh, watching I'm actually dieting now, and I'm watching the calories and the protein, uh, doing all the
Shit,
things that.
I'm on 2 diets, man. 1 diet's not enough food.
Yeah, well, and I won't get too far in the weeds in it, but I eat like 5 or 6 meals a day. And when I say meals, one of them might be a meal replacement, like you call it a lot of people call them protein bars. Well, if you get a meal replacement, it'll basically replace your meal. It's not just 11 gram of protein you got from the convenience store. I do shakes with that. I try to eat as much protein and balance it out. So, but eating better and fitness is definitely on the agenda and high up on my priority list.
That's one of my I can't say it's a goal for me, but that's what I am considering my health and my fitness because I'm definitely way overweight. And doing the work that I do is I suffer, and I'm not saying the work suffers. The work gets done, but I suffer doing the work.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the older I get, the harder it is. I thought Easily, because in the past, I could gain weight and then I can just lose it in a month. I can build my arms up in a month's time and have just rock hard, massive arms, no problem at all, easy. But now it doesn't work like that. It's just not happening,
Yeah,
you
when
know. And I thought that living on a homestead, I would be working all the time and I would be losing weight. That's not the case. Your body adjusts to the work. It's weird. I can't explain it.
and you said on this last episode, every day is a different day for you. So,
Yeah.
one day you might be out there with a chainsaw, and you start looking like Popeye for, a few days. And then you're out doing, other things. You might be with a hoe in the garden. You might be working on your zero turn or the brush hog or something. So, um, that farm life is great for fitness wise, but you need to add in a little,
It's not exercise, it's physical work. It's two different
yes,
things.
But
but I
that's
mean,
functional fitness.
functional fitness, and that's what I was about to talk about. Thanks for the segue there.
Hmm.
So yeah, the functional fitness is what I'm really focusing on is more functional. Um, you know, think bug out. And Joe talked about it on his episode. Did a real good job with it. And Jeremy has talked about it. I've talked about it. You're gonna get 15 pounds of or 115 pounds of shit in your rucksack, and you got to be able to carry it. So, and
Is
just
that what a
adding.
ruck run is? You said something about a ruck run.
Well, I ruck and then run. I
You
don't
talking
want
about
to
filling up
run.
a rucksack and running with it?
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
rucksack.
hell no. That ain't happening.
Well, what you and think about this, right? If you have a plate carrier, start out with the plate carrier, and just in the morning, you get up, you got your coffee and stuff, just make a lap around. And I actually have done this before with some property I was on. It was about 20 acres, and we did brush hog a track around the perimeter where I'm used to, growing up on the homestead, on the farm and stuff, and going and checking fence. That's something you almost do every day. uh, it's just part of your daily
Yeah, I do. I
routine.
do. I do property line walks constantly, and the walk is very good for me.
Throw on your plate carrier, go out and do that. Take your rifle with you. You got the weights on. Get out there and make it happen. And then
Mhm.
one day a week, throw on your rucksack, and then start out with 35-pound ruck, and then go heavier. Just get used to carrying that stuff, and maybe a little walk at night, before you go to bed, when the weather gets a little better or whatever. So, but yeah, just the functional fitness is what Jeremy said is what I'm getting at. And what
Explain it.
it's basically being able to do your job or do the things you need to do fitness wise, and you train. So I'm not in there doing curls for the girls. I'm not in there just doing bicep, curls
Girls
and
for the
push
girls. I never heard
downs.
that one before. That's good.
I'm not in there to train for a bodybuilding contest. I'm training like today, for instance. We did oh man, we did like a CrossFit workout basically. One of us is carrying 45-pound plates in each hand, walking down the gym, which is a very big gym. Uh, and why the other one's doing kettlebell swings, and just doing different things. Well, you're like, well, okay, kettlebell swings. What does that do for you? Well, you're working your shoulders, you're working on your upper body strength, you're working on your core, you're working on your lower part of your body and stuff. So I'm doing a lot of leg work, a lot of deadlifts, a lot of things with my legs. We work legs, something with legs damn near every day. If I was a bodybuilder, I'd kill my legs on one day and then wouldn't touch it again for a week. uh, I'm, I guess what I'm getting at is you have to tailor your functional fitness to what your goals are. I want to be stronger upper body. I want to be able to go up to the mountains and for a week and do what I need to do up there. Whether it's a class or a hike. Through a veteran program that I'm looking at, actually working for, and there's just you don't want it to suck when you get up there, because that it ruins your enjoyment. So functional fitness, and Jeremy you might help me out too, is basically you're training for what you do either every day, like as a soldier, policeman, fireman, or to do the things you want to be able to do when you need to do them.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good. I mean, that's a good description. Functional fitness is movements and training specifically targeted for what you're already doing. So a lot of older people, they do certain exercises because within that facet of their life, that's what they're trying to maintain, right? Um, a lot of guys that are in the military, they throw on, a great big ruck and they go for a walk. Now, I personally never allowed my soldiers, if we were out actually doing a ruck, I would not allow them to run. And the reason
Oh yeah.
being is
But
if you if you're running and hauling ass, and I know people who can do, say for instance, the it's a 26.2 mile ruck and it's in the desert up in New Mexico.
oh,
The
that's the
Baton Death
Bataan Death
March.
March. Yeah, I've done
Baton
it a
Death
few
March.
times. That
I know
sucks.
guys who can run the whole thing.
I've seen people do it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dudes are some crazy motherfuckers, man.
There's only
Hell
one
no.
problem. I mean, even if, say collapse and all that kind of stuff happens, if you blow your wad before you get to the objective and you can't fight, what good are you?
Yeah.
So I
Good
never
point.
allowed my soldiers to actually run. We would walk. And for as short as I am, the one good thing that I could do really good in the Army is I could ruck. And I just learned, you have to learn how to do it. I learned how to step hard and fast and I actually have long strides. But functional fitness is really, well, that was tragic.
What in the world just happened?
He fell out of his chair.
No, my
I think you
function
got a
didn't.
functional fitness sitting.
Yeah, my function didn't fitness just then. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Let me.
Well, we must be built differently because I hear you guys get excited about doing ruck runs and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that's just got to be the worst thing in the world. Why would I want to do that?
I don't think
I mean,
anybody gets
I
excited.
don't want to run with something on with 80 pounds on my back.
Don't get me
No.
wrong. I'm bitching the whole time I'm doing this, Jay, and I'm training with Jay, and
Yeah, but Jay's like a skinny guy.
yeah, but he's
I've
like,
seen
and
pictures, man. He's very fit.
he's got, I don't know if he's 10, 12 years younger than me, so there's
Oh, well,
that
there you
too.
go.
And then I'm bitching the whole time, but afterwards I'm like, hey, thanks. I don't know, but getting back to Jeremy's thing is, I don't think anybody runs with a ruck. I've never like stepped it out. It's more of a shuffle thing. You're gonna
Yeah,
kill your knees and ankles, and everything in your lower body is just gonna go to shit. And
yeah.
it
But
happens.
it's basically fitness for your everyday life. And by, say, for instance, increasing the weight that you're doing on a ruck, and you've got to move a log, and you have no equipment, you can pick up that log, squat down, pick it up, carry it back to where it needs to go. That's part of the function of what you're doing. So it's increasing your strength for everyday stuff is basically a generic way of saying it. So
Yeah,
Okay.
and once upon a time, I was a master fitness instructor through the military, through the army,
mhm.
and they send you to school, so you're gonna, to learn how to train your troops, right? You go back and you get the certification. You go back and you do your things and train your people. And one of the things that I took away from that was progression. You don't throw on that 110-pound ruck that you would use when you go to war, when everybody's taking the mortar rounds that weigh, I don't even remember what a mortar round weighs, but you start dispersing them through the platoon, and so you've got your 65-pound rucksack full of all your stuff. Now you're getting extra medical gear, extra ammo for the mortar team. You're carrying extra ammo for the platoon sergeant because he doesn't like you.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
wondering what you're talking about because you started at 60 pounds, then went to 80. Now you're talking 110.
yeah, but it's all about progression as far as
Yeah.
as far as the functional fitness thing, and the key is progression. And we're going off on a tangent on something that's probably best done by somebody else later on. But
Mm.
Well, we'll
you know
try and get Joe on and talk to him more because I
yeah,
love
and
his fitness is great. He's doing
I've
really. I
had
mean,
talked to
when you
him.
talk to him, he lost like 60 pounds, man.
I've talked to him, and he's we're talking about coming on. He's got
Cool.
still has some things going on, but and Jeremy, he's can talk intelligently about it
What?
because he lives it. You know, um,
This
he
guy's
works
out,
out all
thighs
the
out.
time. Yeah, skies
Oh, yeah.
out, thighs out. You got to, but you know the difference between Jeremy and Joe. Joe probably wears regular shorts, and Jeremy's gonna wear his gonna put on those Ranger panties and get after it. But I digress. All right, so
I'm
Yeah.
let
wearing
me.
basketball. I'm wearing basketball shorts right now. They go
Oh my
past my
God, I
knees.
hate those. I hate those
Yeah,
things so much. Ugh, no,
Comfy.
no,
but
no, 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 no. You gotta
the
It's
have
almost
other,
it's 78 degrees today, man.
yeah, it's hot
you
as
gotta have the creases in the right places, and I do
yeah,
not get that
socks up
from
to your
basketball
knees.
shorts. Yeah.
So I guess I'll end on I got the fitness thing, the training, and I'll touch on training. For this year, my goals is to do a lot of different training that I haven't done. I want to learn some bushcraft or go back to it. I know quite a bit, um,
It's
and
a matter of practicing it, though.
yeah,
Hmm.
and it's a lost art. I need to get back to it. And another thing I want to get back to this year is tracking. I've got my eye on a tracking. And I've had some track. I have a tracking background through some of the things I used to do back in the day. But I want to get back in there and learn some tracking, animal and
Hmm.
human tracking stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll continue
Jeremy's got me
on.
on a tracking thing right now. He's got me. He's got my blood flowing on him because now I'm going out in the woods and I'm really
Yeah,
just walking through, paying attention to things I'm seeing,
yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
what I'm looking at. It's
It's
fun.
really cool.
Don't you just like it's like holy shit, I've been walking by this all the time.
Hmm.
I might notice a little scratch on the tree or something,
Yeah.
or a
How many people walk by a rub and never
yes,
even knew it was a rub?
it
You
just
know?
looked like something rubbed up against the, well, I
Yeah.
guess it's called a rub,
Hmm.
or a tree break that's shoulder high,
Yep.
and when you're walking through, or a path through, wait a minute vines, or what do you call them? What do you call them? Wait a damn minute vines,
Like sticker
briar
vines.
patch. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
briar
you're talking about
patch.
briars. Oh, we got
Yeah.
some briar patches in my forest. They suck, dude.
You got to
Yeah, but
do.
if there's a trail
Oof,
through them or there's a hole in them, then that's a trail. You
that's a
know what I
game
mean?
trail. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
and then we go digressing again.
Yeah.
Finish it
But
Yeah.
up.
yeah, the I'll finish out on this thing. Food and water is another thing that I need to tackle and do better with a little bit more food. I'm good on the I could man I don't even want to say I could probably go 3 weeks or 3 months actually of food in two different locations because I've been buying. Uh, I go to Costco every month for about 60s, and it
What do you
fluctuates.
mean by two different locations? What are you talking about?
I got two locations that I operate out of. I'm I'm
Oh, I
I'm
got you.
like
I got
Jethro Bodine, man. I'm like a international playboy. All right. No, I my bug out location is stocked up, so I don't have to carry. But if I'm bugging in, I can go 3 months either place with food.
Yeah.
Water, not so good. But I want to diversify the food this year, doing some other things, and then water. I'm working on some things on water. Catchment systems, barrels. Different techniques on. Filtration. I want to get one of those big Berkeys for the countertop. It's going to cost me an arm and an ass to buy, but
use the link when you do. It's on one of our shows.
okay,
I think
yeah.
yeah.
And
You know.
now that we're talking about that link, I want to do a shameless plug since I'm done with my 2026 goals. Um, that Tops 10
Tops 10, yeah.
code for Refuge Medical. If you need any
No, it's not Tops
medical,
10. It's Tops Bunker 10, isn't it?
Dun,
well,
dun,
we'll
dun,
put it in the show
dun.
notes.
I've been putting it on the show notes that way.
I'll send it to
So
you. So
okay.
anyways, going back to, you probably need to take that out. So our I don't even know what it is, but I'm telling you all about it, right? So yeah, we have a discount code for Refuge Medical. Use that thing. Get out there, and it's going to help us buy some things that we need for the show to make it more professional, to make our sound better, to maybe do some things that we need to do that because we're all independently funded through our own selves here. So
Hmm.
help support the show a little bit by buying a little bit from Refuge if you need some medical gear, and we'll go from there. And that's my goals for 2026. I want to wish everybody a happy new
Nice.
year, and hopefully everybody will get out there and I want to hear your goals. So put them on, go online. Let's hear them. Either instant message me if you don't want to put it out there for everybody, but I'd like to hear what other people's goals are
Yeah.
for 2026.
Yeah. And definitely start putting stuff, going into the new year on the Facebook page or whatever. Start putting stuff on there and let's talk about it, Let's see what's on there and then let's talk about it on the show. That's the easiest way to do it. And SpeakPipe.
Yeah, and SpeakPipe. When I just checked SpeakPipe, there's nothing. Nobody's been on there in a couple weeks, so nobody's paying attention. I
Oh
think
no.
we've got a lot of bunker members that are not really on a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think we're reaching as many people on the bunkers as I would think, but we're pushing. We're pushing people to get out there and do it. And I got those things that come out like every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've got a thing that pops up on the bunker like Friday, what are you doing for the weekend, or Monday blues, whatever. Those going to come up all the time. I got them set up to go on one of those days.
Right.
So, and it doesn't mean that every single person has to go on every single one of those, but one or two is great because it sparks up a conversation.
Right.
Which I like. So
yeah. Well, my goals, I was going to do the typical, water, food. Everybody needs to improve water, food. That's like across the board. That's every single person out there. So I went a little bit of a different route, and my first one is, and I've mentioned this before, breaking habits. I think 2026 is my year to quit smoking. I've got to sit down and actually put a date on it and be like, no shit, I will be done by this time. And I have to suffer.
are you doing cold turkey?
No, I'm not going to do cold turkey. Last time I tried cold turkey. I almost turned violent. So,
yeah.
And I was still in the army, so I didn't want to, do the whole prison route. But that's my number one thing. Physical fitness, Buddy already kind of took a step on that direction. I think that's also something that is literally everybody. It's everybody's got to improve their physical fitness, no matter what, and especially here in the United States. If you go to Europe and you walk around and you look, and people just don't look like we do here. Generally, people here, it's super common to see somebody who's, typically normally shaped right next to somebody who's super not in shape. And if you, it's become normal here. Our diet is based off of what for some reason our country allows, which in other countries they don't. So physical fitness is always something that everybody can do. Next one would be finances. I've still got some bills, and I want to eliminate those bills. That might mean I got to grow up and get a job, to help double down on what I'm already doing to get all of that done. I want to be done with a lot of stuff, and I have a feeling that I may end up selling my home in Texas, which will help out quite a bit. And sort of just wash everything else almost completely away in one swoop, but we'll see how that goes. And then networking. I have a group of friends who I believe they think that if anything was to happen, they're just going to come to my house, and I don't want them to. So what I want to be able to do is to network with those individuals to get them to start to improve their own preps, their own lifestyle, their own way that they're going to do it. And one of the ways that I want to do that is I want us to all have basically a communication ring route, even if it involves Baofangs, and setting up some antennas or, different kind of communication that we can test, and then kind of start getting those individuals on board and sort of extending that network from there. Because I'll go back to it. Like I did a video today that I'll post on the Facebook page about chickens, but I am taking care of a neighbor's chickens, and we are allowed to keep the eggs in exchange. Right. So that's part of that network. We also trade vegetables and fruit with this same neighbor. And I've talked about them before. But networking, and building a group and building a mag or whatever you want to call it is extremely important, because we've talked about it 1,000 times. You can't be a lone wolf in this thing. You can't, and it's just not going to work. And then next, I have two more. Next is making sure that I practice what I preach in carrying my EDC. And I've also mentioned this just recently, making sure that if I leave the house, if I can go to a place that I can carry, I will carry. I'll always have this, and I'll always have these certain items with me every day. And I've gotten lackadaisical in some of it. I don't carry everywhere. And in 2025, there was a couple situations which I wish I was. So I've got to get better about every morning I get up and I go to do the thing. My EDC is right there. And I can start really reinforcing to myself that is, every day I'm going to carry. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then lastly, and this is not like the dead last, but for now, my next one is going to be working more towards independence. We did a lot of different stuff with the garden. We had a lot of upsets with the garden this year. We want to move towards chickens. We're still looking for land, but self-sufficiency and independence from the system itself is a really big desire for me individually as a prepper and somebody who believes in being prepared. So yeah, that's kind of some of my stuff that I've got looking forward to. I mean, there's a whole lot more. I don't know that we have, it would be probably 4 or 5 episodes, but those are some of my immediates, and unfortunately my very most important one, breaking habits, is like, man, it's like, I don't know what it is, but every time I tell myself I'm going to quit, my brain is like, no, the hell you're not going to do it. And it's so easy to fall back into those habits. So
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely it's a thing, man.
yeah.
Don't beat yourself up over the quitting smoking thing. It's one of the hardest. Nicotine's one of the hardest things to shake, on the planet.
Yeah.
It really is one of those hardest things. And I say this to everybody. I've quit smoking a few times, and it's been very bad, very rough. And I've done it, and now I've done it, and I'm on. I vape, and but I have gone from the nicotine level in my vape that would be like a normal cigarette, like let's say a Marlboro Red, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is around 18 to 20% in a vape of nicotine. I'm guessing it's right around that area. That's what I was told. I've dropped that all the way down to zero.
Mm.
No nicotine. All it is just vape. Now that I couldn't take. It changes the way the vape feels and the
Yeah.
enjoyment I get from it. So I back up to the lowest amount, which is 3%, and that's where I'm sitting now. And I go back and forth between 3 and 0.
Mm.
It's a life changing thing going to 0, because basically it's just quitting, and
Yeah.
all it is just vape. It's just essential oils is all it is turned into a vape.
Mm.
So
Probably
that and
smells
that's
delicious.
it really does. But when you smoke, one of the things that that was hard for me to quit was when you take that drag and you get the sort of hit on your throat. They call it a hit on your throat. You feel that
Mm-hmm.
hit. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like drinking whiskey. You feel that hit when you drink it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that when you drop it comes from the nicotine. You don't get that when you drop down to 0. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like drinking alcohol or soda that's flat. It just
Ugh.
doesn't. It's not right. So that's why I bounce around back. I'll get like a 0% and I'll get a 3%, and sometimes I'll mix them and this and that. If one day
Yeah.
I'm wanting a little bit more, so that's what I did on that. But the thing about quitting smoking is I've had lots of friends who've done it and have tried to do it. I always tell them the same thing, because I'm somebody who has done it. My best advice is quit when you're ready to quit. There is going to be a time.
Yeah.
And if you try to quit when you're not right there and ready, it ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna work, man. You're gonna
Yeah.
fail. It's gonna
Yeah.
fail, and you're gonna feel bad about yourself, and it's gonna be harder the next time because you don't want to fail again.
Yep.
There's gonna be a point where you're like, I'm done. You're gonna wake up one day, and go, that's it. I'm done. I feel like today's the ready day.
Yeah.
That's when you do it, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna make it easier, but it's gonna make you hopefully successful at it.
Yeah. I think that's been my biggest thing, because I actually like to, I like to smoke, Um,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a crutch, and we all like our crutches, you know.
yeah, yeah. I do have one alibi for my goals is
What do you guys? You
organization.
guys keep calling them alibis. What is that?
An alibi?
I know
It's
what an alibi is, but but is an alibi an add-on? You're
yeah, it's
saying
kind of like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't get this out, but I do need to get it out, so I'm gonna add it on to the end,
Okay.
basically.
I thought alibi was when you're trying to get out of like killing somebody, you know.
I mean, that's also a technique, you know.
Okay.
Or I'll call it a caveat. I like to use that phrase in the military too.
Oh, you sound so
Um,
fancy. Fancy.
yes, because there's always someone when you're leaving a meeting and you're like, "Let's get the hell out of this meeting," and they say, "Is there any questions?" And somebody always says, "I'm going to caveat off of what the commander just said," and then it turns into this whole stupid thing. But my last one that I need to add on is organization and cleanliness. I have a really bad tendency to get into a thing and start doing something and I leave it out and I don't get back to it to clean it up. I've got to, it's another habit and I got to get better about it. You know, I have all these bins and they're all labeled and it has stuff. I'll go digging for stuff and then I don't put the bin away or I don't put all the other crap, you know, back in the bin and put it back where it's supposed to go. So I really do have to get better about that.
Wow, man. I tell you what, that's one of them things, man. A beautiful, organized like shop. You
Mm.
ever seen those shops that are like
Oh,
just
dude.
beautiful and
Yes.
everything is labeled. It's all great and perfect and beautiful.
Mhm.
That's not my shop.
That's a dysfunctional shop. That's a shop that nobody uses. If it's
Man, I'm gonna
clean,
tell you right now, I got shit everywhere. Every time I
but
start a project, I just shift junk from this pile to
but
that pile.
but
dude, I don't
I'm willing
trust
to
them.
bet. I'm willing to bet you know where that junk is. If somebody said, "Hey,
Sometimes, yes, I know the
yeah,
general area of it.
yeah." If they said, "Hey, do you have this particular kind of saw?" I'm like, "Yeah, go in there, lift up that tire, go to the right about 6 inches. They're going to be 14 pounds of stupid paperwork. Look up underneath there." For some
Yeah, I don't.
reason, I can recall that. But when somebody goes in and it happened, you know, somewhat recently, Missy actually had our daughter and her husband come in and they came in and they did a bunch of work while I was gone. And I'm like, I don't know where anything is. Oh my gosh.
And they moved your shit.
They moved
But
my mess. But yeah, I really do have to get better about that. So
do you trust somebody's shop that's I mean, it's just like spotless to work on your car. I mean, it's like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're spending all their time
ah,
cleaning, right?
I
I,
mean,
I mean, yeah,
spotless is one thing. Oil on the floor but organized, yes. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's
We'll
I
draw the
mean,
line
I
there.
know guys who detail cars and they make cars look just absolutely incredible and you think to yourself, I wonder how good their car looks. And it literally looks like a mobile taco stand that's never been cleaned. Like
Your your caveat just cost us 4.5 minutes.
I know, man. It's always
It's
but
awesome.
I mean we ended on tacos. How can you not have a good show without having something about tacos? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I love
it is
tacos more than I love
Tuesday.
burritos. That's just the way I roll. But
It is.
um, so yeah, health for me and fitness is definitely on the agenda for 26. My forest is another one with the timber and all that. Working with the forester, it's another goal for 2026. My bees are definitely a huge goal for 2026. I've got to become I've got to not master it because you never master anything, but really bees is a lifelong thing. But I really need to improve the my honeybee part of my business. That's going to happen in 2026. The garden is the other thing I'm going to improve on. The planting schedule has got to be better. It's got to be bigger. It's 50 by 20 right now. I'm adding on an additional 50 by 25.
Nice,
I'm adding an
nice.
additional 25 by 25 onto that. And it's going
Whoa.
to, yes, I know. And you're just thinking, why? Because the things that I really wanted more of, I didn't have room for. For instance, corn. I wanted way more corn. Corn, you need a lot of room. You need a lot of room for corn. What was some of the things that just exploded? Well, there would be cucumbers for pickling, things like that. I didn't realize that they would grow that fast and there would be that many coming out all over the place. I need more room for that. So we're going bigger, and my compost is getting restructured. I got 2 bin compost happening right now, where one bin is just beautiful, dark, delicious compost, and the one next to it is growing into its next one. I want to build that into a 3 system, make it a little bit nicer, bigger. Thinking about is putting up sort of a top on the not all the way across the whole thing, but there's going to be shaded parts. We got some shade cloths that we're going to put in for certain types of crop. So yeah, the planning schedule is going to be different. I'm hoping to um, to put more, put more in our bellies from the garden. So
So,
those are our
question
goals for 26.
question for you: Are you going to succession plant where you're going to season plant, or just more in for the summer garden?
It is going to definitely be succession planting, and that's something that is maybe it's easy for some people. We haven't wrapped our heads around it yet. You really got to dial in your when you seed for each one. You really they have to the plants have to grow in a specific order, because all of a sudden you got plants that are that are you've already eaten, and you should have your next line of whatever it is, let's say
Yeah,
greens, but they're not ready yet. So somewhere along the line you waited too long or something. The timing has to be right for succession growing.
yeah, and you have the space now to do that. If you just build on, leave space is what I'm saying when you
Leave
plant.
space,
Yeah,
exactly, yes.
leave a little space, and come in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, plant another row, maybe a half a row. I don't know. When you take something out, then you look forward to, and we're going
Yeah.
into another episode.
No, but that's the thing, man. We ended up with, like, all of a sudden your refrigerator is filled with stuff that you now have to eat before it goes bad.
Yeah,
And whereas you should have just enough in your fridge to eat, and then your next line comes up, that sort of thing.
with your space you have now, you're going to be able to, open up that farm stand, or maybe go to a farmer's market, or even do FSA or something. Do something where you could do a subscription, for people in town to come out
Yeah. Well, and
and
that's the other
things.
part of the business is the bees and the hobby farm, because it's Honeycomb Holler Apiary and Farm is the name of the company, and we
Ah,
want to
yeah,
have that stand, at the farmers market that has the honey products, and also the farm products, the garden products.
yeah,
So that's it.
Mm,
nice.
nice. Very nice. I mean,
What else?
that's a lot of space.
It's a
That's
lot of space.
a farm.
Yeah. It's a lot of space, but when you're working it, you feel like it's not. You're like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not using it right or something. You feel like, you're just like, whoa, I need more. I need more.
Right. Right. I do know, based off of what happened this year with the bugs, um, our vined plants, like our squash and stuff, and a lot of our lettuce type plants got to get planted later in the year to get towards the cool season. Because, I mean, after what happened with the squash bugs this year, it was terrible. It was really bad. Yeah.
We
So,
had them too, but we used that diatomaceous earth on it
mhm.
and on them, and we did a lot of neem oil, and they disappeared, and we still kept getting crop.
Yeah.
They were gone, and maybe the chickens helped, because sometimes we'll
They will.
a chicken
Yeah,
or two will get up in there, and next day the bugs are gone. They just eat them.
Yeah.
they're a big help. And it's the guineas too. The guineas will eat a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff.
but you got to
Ticks
monitor
and
them, because they will eat your crop too. Yeah,
oh
some
yeah,
stuff they won't eat, some stuff they
yeah,
will eat.
yeah. Chickens are bad too. So little
Yeah.
Hmm.
peckerheads. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then. Should we just end it there?
Yep.
Well, I got that code. I don't know if you saw it. So it is Tops Bunker 10
Okay.
is the code.
Okay,
So
so go ahead and give it. So go ahead and give us from the beginning, from the start.
all right.
Refuge Medical.
So we do have a Refuge Medical discount code. It's called it is Tops Bunker 10, and it's capital T, capital B, and 10. We'll have it in the show notes. You'll get 10% off of all your purchases through Refuge Medical. Use it. You're going to help us. You're going to help us a little bit with the show, getting some better things. We'll be able to improve our show with the little money we get out of it, but you're also going to get gear that's made in America by Americans, top quality stuff that you're going to be able to actually get out there and use, and not have to worry about it failing. So, Tops Bunker 10 is the code to use. Go out there and get your stuff.
My prepper brothers and sisters, preparation rarely looks heroic. Mostly, it looks like repetition and waiting and patience, like choosing the long road when the shortcut is right there within your reach. As 2026 moves forward, there will be days that feel unchanged. Those are the days when the real work is taking place. Seeds will disappear into the dirt before they rise. Steel hardens under pressure. People become capable long before they're tested. This path we're on doesn't chase certainty. It builds something that endures without it. So keep working while the world sleeps. Keep learning while others scroll past the moment. Keep tending what feeds and warms and shelters those you love. And when the year turns over again, you won't need to announce your readiness. Stay prepped, stay happy. Thanks for listening, and good night.